Now on CoastTV News.
A potential bike path that connects Milford and Slaughter Beach could be here in the near future, but those who live in the area not so happy.
A seal crossing the mammal's unique journey across 4 lanes of traffic before being rescued.
Breaking ground in Wallops Island, new improvements to our local space efforts.
Donations needed for seniors and their pets. How you can help stock the shelves at Georgetown's Cheer Center.
And we're set to have some late night lightning. I'll show you what I'm tracking coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
A potential change to this neighborhood causing a bit of controversy. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with a protest against the Milford Slaughter Beach Bike Path project.
This is according to a post seen on the website Nextdoor that it says this protest is 6 p.m. tonight in Milford. And Coast TV News reporter Brendan Conroy is live there. Brendan, according to a survey that both Milford and Slaughter Beach conducted, the reactions to building a path to connect was kind of down the middle.
Maddie, I'm here at the Milford City Hall, and according to a post on Nextdoor, the protest is about that Milford/Slaughter Beach bike path. But when I talked to Milford's mayor, Todd Kulata, he told me that he believes the protest is for a park that would be installed that people aren't happy about. Now, if it is about the bike path, when we spoke with people, that survey actually has very mixed reactions. It has some people saying they don't want their property to be touched, and others don't want to have to worry about all of that stuff that would happen, and others just like the community being more together. A feasibility study was conducted for this project, but received very mixed responses on the survey. And we are expecting to see a handful of people at this protest, but did not get a chance to, or we actually did get a chance to speak to someone in Milford who does want to see this bike path.
Do a lot of walking. I love outdoors. This is what living in Delaware is all about to me. If you weren't here for the adventure, then why did you come in to start with? You know what I mean? Because this is what Delaware is all about, at least from what I've seen.
When we spoke with the mayor about the bike path protest, he told us if it's going to affect people's yards, he understands that it could be a problem for some of those people. We will have much more at 6 when the protest is going on. Live in Milford, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
Thank you, Brendan. Right now, you can actually share your thoughts on that path on the online survey that Brendan mentioned. Here's a shot of it on your screen. Now, the survey is open until April 21st. We have the link for that and much more right now on CoastTV.com.
There has been multiple recent seal rescues here on the coast. You're going to want to hear this one, though. A seal pup crossed 4 lanes of traffic near the Indian River Inlet before being rescued by Murr, who says she had some bite wounds, but is now recovering. Some beachgoers say they've never heard anything like it.
Well, hopefully no more come across the road or get squashed.
Right.
That would be a tragedy.
That would.
That would be a tragedy. Murr also rescued a young gray seal named Sectum from Gordon's Pond in North Shores last week. And all of this brings us into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, have you ever seen a seal in person on the coast?
There's been actually an exorbitant amount of rescues this year, near record breaking. And 63% say, though, they've actually never seen a seal in person. No, 14% say yes in the water. That was my answer. 14% say yes on the beach. 9% say yes inland, which maybe is from this rescue where it literally crossed 4 lanes of traffic. Can you imagine that?
I had lunch with a seal. We were just, at a restaurant somewhere. If you have not voted yet, go to CoastTV.com or use the Coast TV mobile app. And we're taking a live look into Lewis right now. Let's check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. Paul, what are we expecting? You said something about lightning.
Yeah, because late tonight, things are going to really make a turn after about the 10 o'clock hour, and we're going to watch out for a chance of isolated thunderstorms. Our Tendo Casual Furniture camera in Laurel, we're staying very clear till the sun goes down. Then we'll have a little moisture that's going to build up between 8, 9, and 10 o'clock, and then we're watching out for a chance of a thunderstorm to just pop on through and shake things up, at least for about a half hour or so. It's 59 degrees for the high in Ocean City today. We warmed up to 73 degrees for the high in Georgetown, and 73 well above the 66, which is the norm for this time of the year, but far away from 87. That's the record high for the state set in 1977. We are going to be concerned about winds for the next 2 to 3 days, particularly Wednesday. But we already have a small craft advisory that's in effect along the coast, and we actually have concerns for gale winds that were initially over towards the Cambridge area. But as this warm front begins to take over and surge in the northeast direction, it's going to warm us up, but it's going to enhance our wind profile. Maddie, I'm going to translate in the greatest detail and simplest terms what I mean by that enhanced wind profile and how that'll affect you.
All right, Paul. Thank you. The insurance company Liberty Mutual has paid a $300,000 penalty to the state of Delaware after an investigation uncovered nearly 40,000 instances of misleading advertising. The Department of Insurance says the violations included listing discounts on homeowners and auto policies that were not actually available to Delaware consumers. 3 Liberty Mutual companies were cited with an additional $200,000 penalty pending if those issues are not corrected.
The right to marry is being proposed in Delaware, with some lawmakers pushing for it to be added to the state's constitution. The bill would require the state to recognize all marriages, regardless of gender. Lawmakers pushing for the bill say it would not infringe on freedom of religion, as religious organizations would have the right to refuse to recognize or perform a marriage. David Mariner with Sussex Pride says the proposal is a good step for the state.
We've seen the LGBTQ community under attack in many different ways in this administration, and anything that we can do to enshrine our protections is really important at this point.
That bill is now awaiting consideration in Delaware's Executive Senate Committee.
If you plan to drive across the Route 90 bridge overnight, think again. Maintenance work started Sunday. As Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappé shows us, the road is now closed at night.
The winds of change are bringing warmer weather to the coast, and warmer weather brings crowds of people with it. That includes summer hotspot Ocean City, a place Mike Burns vacations to every year.
Incredibly busy, because this is a great place to come and hang out.
But for those planning to make the drive in at night, the Route 90 bridge, one of just 2 of the bridges that can take you to OC, is going to be closed. That's due to some maintenance work. According to the Maryland Department of Transportation, a 12-mile section of Route 90 is going to be shut down from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. every night. In between those hours, all the work being done will include guardrail repairs, patching the bridges, inlet cleaning to improve highway drainage, and debris removal. While the bridge is shut down, drivers will be directed to the Route 50 bridge, and that will add about 30 minutes to your travel time. But Burns feels this will be the right time to get this project done.
It'll cause a lot of traffic, but right now the season hasn't even started, so this is the time to do it instead of waiting until the middle of the summer when it really causes havoc for people. According to
NDOT, everything should be finished by April 17th, weather permitting. And assuming it is your nighttime drive to the beach, can return to normal where the only thing slowing you down are the other cars sharing the bridge with you. I'm Kevin Zappé, Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Out with the old, in with the new. On Monday, NASA's Wallops Flight Facility held a groundbreaking ceremony to celebrate the construction of a new bridge. Unlike the current 65-year-old bridge, the new one is going to be made entirely flat, no curve. Now, the reason for that, well, it's going to speed up the time it takes to go over that 1,600-foot bridge from 12 seconds to only 8 seconds. In addition, this new bridge will also be able to bring heavier loads to Wallops Island. The NASA Wallops Flight Facility director says it's needed for the constant rocket takeoffs that they plan to do in the future.
We're going from launching a few rockets a year orbitally into space to launching 25 to 27 rockets over the next couple years. We need a new bridge to help enable that.
Construction for the new bridge is starting today, and it's expected to finish in February of 2028.
Georgetown's Cheer Center is reaching out to the public for pet food and cat litter donations. Coast TV News reporter Zakia Jennings is live there in Georgetown. And Zakia, Cheer told you seniors often face a tough decision.
Maddie, Amy Smith, nutrition director for Cheer, says their Meals on Wheels program delivers food for seniors and their pets. She says seniors often have to make the decision of paying for medication or pet food. Smith told Coast TV these resources allows them to not have to make that tough choice of purchasing a necessity for themselves or a necessity for their pet.
We want to take care of our seniors and their pets because as all of us treat our pets like family. So it's the same thing. When we're feeding the seniors, we're going to feed their pets.
We'll have more on this at 6, where we show you who these donations directly impact. Back to you.
And if you're looking to donate, guess what? You can visit the Georgetown Cheer Center and drop off the goods in person. We have more on this actually right now on how to host your own pet food drive, also on CoastTV.com.
The return of lanternflies. What to do if you see this invasive species?
And thanks to a late-night moving storm system, we may have some midnight rumbling due to a few thunderstorms. I'll have the latest tracking coming right up.
Deportation controversy, what the U.S. and El Salvador say for the future of the Maryland man who was wrongly deported. Up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
Today in Washington, President Trump met with the president of El Salvador, whose country is taking in deported migrants despite legal questions and heavy criticism of the mass deportations.
NBC's Ryan Nobles has more on that and the president's latest tariff talks.
You're doing. I appreciate it very much.
President Trump hosting the president of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele, today. The two leaders meeting amid controversy over the U.S. policy of mass deportations of alleged Venezuelan gang members to the country, where they are being held in a mega prison for a fee.
I want to thank you for the great job you're doing.
Among those held, Kilmar Abrego Garcia from Maryland. The administration has admitted he was mistakenly deported, but has not been returned to the U.S. despite court orders to take steps to bring him back.
He made it impossible.
Today, President Trump did not indicate he would help Garcia, and President Bukele said his country would not return him.
How can I return him to the United States? Like I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it. It's like, the question is preposterous.
With both sides digging in, the case could end up in a Supreme Court showdown. Also under scrutiny, President Trump's tariff tactics. The market's getting an initial boost today, but companies and consumers are left confused by the back and forth, on again, off again policies.
Prices are going to go up. We don't know when or how or which products.
The latest U-turn came over the weekend when the administration announced exemptions for smartphones, computers, and other tech components.
Look, I'm a very flexible person. I don't change my mind, but I'm flexible.
The president's advisors out in force, trying to clarify the turnabout.
They're exempt from the reciprocal tariffs, but they're included in the semiconductor tariffs, which are coming in probably a month or two.
But while the president maintains the tariffs will improve the economy in the long term, analysts say the uncertainty alone is harmful. China's leader Xi Jinping, who has said no one wins in a trade war, kicked off a tour of Southeast Asia today, trying to present China as a force for stability, in contrast with the U.S. and President Trump's moves on tariffs.
Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
A man has been charged for setting several fires inside the Pennsylvania governor's mansion early Saturday morning. That suspect, identified as Corey Balmer, has been charged with attempted murder. Authorities say security camera video captured a man climbing a wall at the mansion and breaking a window with a hammer before throwing Molotov cocktail inside. Governor Joshua Shapiro and his family were home at the time and had to be evacuated.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. Watching out for some early morning rain for Tuesday, but then it becomes very breezy Tuesday and Wednesday, and we jump from 65 down to 58, and then it gets really blustery. Your full forecast coming up in a moment, so hold on to your beautiful weather for today, and we really warmed up nicely. My only concern, to be quite honest, goes back to something we always go over, which is if it's sunny during the day and we got storms coming in at night, we got to watch out for how stormy it's going to be at night. In this case, it's the same situation, but because the storm system is going to be so delayed in getting here to like midnight, we may cool off enough so this doesn't become too volatile, but I'm going to have to watch it for you, which I always do, because if it really jumps off, we'll continue to update you on all of our social media platforms. That being said, Let's walk through our forecast, all right? Irish Eyes, Lewis, 69 degrees right now. We'll drop down to 60 by 9 o'clock with partly cloudy skies, but until then, we're going to stay pretty clear for the most part. Maximum wind gust at about 23 mile per hour gusts in Wallops Island, about 18 in Salisbury, 16 mile per hour gusts recorded in Ocean City as well as Georgetown. But we have a small craft advisory in effect for Slaughter Beach, Broad Kill Beach, Lewis, Rehoboth. Also concerned about that all the way down towards West Ocean City and Golf Club Shores. And we're concerned about that on the other side towards Cambridge as well. And for Cambridge, we're watching out for the possibility of even stronger winds. Warm fronts pushing through, and that's going to be a bit of a game changer in the sense of the surge coming out of the southwest, giving us additional moisture and additional heat that may cook the books just enough for us to watch out for some volatile storms late tonight. We're in the 50s along the shore or along the beaches, 55 Bethany Beach, 56 Rehoboth, Indian River Inlet. But notice we're nearly 20 degrees warmer as you go farther inland. The winds will be our big story for tonight and really for the next couple of days in a row. So when you take a look at all of the possibility of winds, we also have the possibility of breezy conditions on both sides. Now let's talk about the late night thunderstorms. Here's why I'm concerned. At about 1 o'clock, 1:30, we're looking at an isolated cell that's supposed to be really nasty near Seaford at about 1:30, okay? That's what I'm mostly concerned. And then it moves very quickly. So it's got two things I'm always mindful of. It's popping up and it's moving quickly. So I take a more detailed look at it. And we're looking at possibly to the north of Seaford, to the south. So Delmar, Salisbury, Seaford, and Ellendale. Watch out for things that happen at about midnight for you guys, okay? You're on the block for threatening weather. Now, as far as the rest of us are concerned, we'll see a breakdown going into tomorrow morning till about mid-morning, and then it'll begin to break up for us. But the winds will be really volatile by Wednesday. We're looking at near 40 mile per hour wind gusts out of the west. So Tuesday, early in the morning, we'll see spotty showers in Assateague, Chincoteague, and all those areas. Ocean City, watching out for a bit of soggy situation and 62 degrees there. And we anticipate it being a little bit soggy for us Tuesday, for us in Lewis, as well as Rehoboth Beach. So for tonight, late night thunderstorms popping up in 58. 65 for tomorrow, and then we'll clear out more so for Wednesday. But Wednesday, it's going to be really windy, like really, really windy. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. We're looking out for it continue to stay very much on tax day. We're watching out for temperatures to really begin to swell up for us, Maddie.
All right, Paul, thank you. The damage-causing spotted lanternflies, they've made a return. As of April 11th, the insects have been found in 17 states, including Delaware and Maryland. Homeowners say, look, if you find them, you just got to destroy them before the eggs hatch because those invasive pests feast on a wide range of plants and they're really dangerous to crops. Environmentalists say you just got to scrape the eggs off of the trees or wherever they are, smash them. You'll find them on rocks, trees, cars, and lawn furniture.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, your game of the night at 5:30. Stephen Decatur takes on Easton in boys lacrosse. Then catch the final score at 10:30. For your DSN Plus exclusives at 5:30, Milford is away at Dover for boys lacrosse. Then 6:15, Caesar Rodney taking on Carville Academy in girls lacrosse. Coast TV News will be right back.
Delaware is taking a step forward in emergency response with new
enhanced 911 service, callers will be able to stream live video, share photos directly from their phone, and receive text translation and language support. These details would be relayed in real time. All public safety answering points in Delaware are set to be upgraded by 2026. And Easter is right around the corner, and you can start your Easter Sunday with music and meaningful conversation if you celebrate with Sunrise Sermons 2025, the final sacrifice. Services begin at 7 a.m. on Coast Country, 9:30 a.m. on the Delmarva Sports Network, and 10:30 a.m. on Coast TV.
A live look into Dover. One more check on the forecast right after this. All right, best story of the day. At Worcester Tech, another set of baby goats was born today. You can see them right there with their mama. Oh my goodness. Samantha, right?
Samantha gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, earlier this afternoon. It comes after Faith also gave birth to twins late last month.
We can also kind of see there, all these goats, adorable, and they're also giving ag students a new way to learn animal health.
Actually, that is kind of cool. That's actually cool. Okay, our small craft advisory is in effect, watching out for 25 mile per hour wind gusts. Be mindful of that. Robin Corbin of Salisbury some folks in Salisbury viewers. Congratulations, Robin. You got to come all the way to Milton, pick up your umbrella. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, sponsored by Law Office of Brockstead, Mandelis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
Thank you, Paul. Love the tax day graphic there, too. And thanks for joining us here at 5.
And for more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition's up next.
And we're going to see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.